Hello everyone and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between MelonGod and FoCuS, taking place here on Echo Isle 2.2. FoCuS spawning as the yellow orc on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, MelonGod, or just Melon, spawning as the green human. Alright, Melon versus FoCuS, opening things up. It looks like the heroes are going to be coming out, just speeding up to that 2-minute mark where the game really begins. You start to see some progression. Archmage going up against a Farseer, a battle of the brains. It looks like a lone grunt into some headhunters will be the plan for FoCuS. Meanwhile, Archmage already making its way out, going to go ahead and militia clear out this mercenary camp here. Perhaps try and pick up a Forest Troll Shadow Priest. Incredibly important, especially if you want to get that early purge. Alright, there is that, well, Forest Troll Shadow Priest making its way down. The militia are actually going straight over to the bottom left-hand side of the map. This could be a fast expansion attempt here, as we're looking at, well, no additional workers being trained, currently sitting at 14, and, well, it could be. We'll have to just take a look and figure out the strategy now. Archmage looking to clear up this forest, or remainder of this Forest Troll Trapper creep camp. Does not get to level 2. And, well, units being left behind here. Archmage not going after a simple green creep camp as I thought, trying to get to level 2 as FoCuS now starts to clear up some Null Brutes as Headhunter joins this, well, kind of wolf pack, I guess. Coming back around, Archmage going straight for this Null Brute creep camp in the center portion of the map. We see a Forest Troll Shadow Priest actually venturing forth into a rather uncharted territory. This is either a genius play by Melon or an absolutely risky play, as Melon's Forest Troll Shadow Priest, Melon's Forest Troll Shadow Priest is actually following this group right here. Alright, are we going to see a resummoning of the wolves? There is the resummoning of wolves. Two very low hit point water elementals. Wow, I believe that was the first time I've seen two water elementals pretty much disappear simultaneously without anyone getting hit points. One water elemental splashed down the other just as his timed life was coming to an end. Very, very balanced use there, as we're looking at Melon now trying to put in this pressure. All right, summons up the water elemental, trying to take down this one Farseer. Farseer is retreating back and forth. We see an ensnare onto the water elemental. That may be a gift-wrapped water elemental coming from the computer for FoCuS, as the water elemental takes a little bit too much damage. Meanwhile, low hit point footman trying to retreat back here. Both sides just testing the waters. Some long distance fireball damage by the Archmage as the units are still retreating back here. All right, there goes another ensnare, trying to get in a little bit more damage, going after those wolves, and any way to get some free and easy experience as the Archmage now forced to retreat back. Water Elemental down to 48, 49 hit points. Will it, end up surviving? Water Elemental ends up getting denied once more. Beautifully done, as FoCuS is unable to easily clear out that northern creep camp. The Expo is already done here, and we are now training up more footmen to try and reinforce. No arcane vault at the main base. Meanwhile, still more poking coming down. We see another gift-wrapped footman. The headhunters will make short work of him. It finally gets taken out, and the numbers are just starting to be too much as FoCuS has a larger army, and, well, with that range, able to focus down some units. Are we going to see some more ensnares? There you have it. Everything is just being gift-wrapped for FoCuS, as FoCuS is now at 2.5. Are we going to see last hit? Yes, by the Farseer, still poking in a little bit more damage. And now, what is going down here? Finally, a gift-wrapped gift for Melon, but Melon taking quite a bit of damage across his other units as well. All right, off to the north here, you can see an Ogre Magi still there. Forest Troll Trappers are still there. Melon still trying to poke apart his opponent any which way he can. Farseer getting up very close to level 3. Who's going to get the item? And we see level 3 onto the Archmage. Archmage gets the level up. Farseer gets the item. It is a Scroll of the Beast. Things need to turn back around the other way. There goes another. And FoCuS not being able to get to level 3, a definite loss, as they're going to go back to their respective corners. All right, Lumber Mill getting added, Scout Tower getting added. This is completely wide open for the Farseer to rush on in. Farseer, however, needs a little bit of healing in order to move forward. We can see we are at Stronghold. We are getting up a Tauren Chieftain. Shamans and, well, the Bestiary and the Spirit Lodge are both nearly done. Good day. Hello, chat. Thank you for tuning in. As the Spirit Lodge, once it is done, we can see Shamans with that Purge really slowing down these water elementals. However, well, Melon got exactly what he needed. He needed to try and force a reset on that Spirit Lodge. doing exactly that. Farseer, however, perhaps going to try and push forth with a timing attack with that scroll of the beast that he was able to grab earlier from that Ogre Magi. Back on the southern side, there's all of those low hit point footmen by Melon. A good job of bringing back those lower hit point units to not feed experience and to save them for another day. That farm, well, does round things off here. That is a lot of peasants on lumber, as we should be looking at a tech to tier 2 soon. Archmage, scroll of regeneration, 21 supply, 22 workers. That is quite a bit, as you can imagine. Meanwhile, the Torrent Chieftain down across here, endurance aura first, followed by most likely Stomp, hasn't shown that just quite yet. Meanwhile, the Raiders could get a couple of ensnares, and here we go off to the fight here. Are we going to see a Stomp? No, we are not. We do see Defend, as the footmen are able to, well, reduce the amount of damage they take, but since they are moving that much more slowly, well, that much worse. All right, still no ensnare research by the Raider. The footman able to retreat back off to the north. We see one lone footman trying to dive into that position. There goes the ensnare. So Raiders with ensnares and headhunters able to poke apart a little bit of damage here, as we see the Spirit Lodge getting in some splash as well. All right, Militia fighting back against here. Oh, the interesting choice. All right, so Melon opted to go for a keep at his expansion. This is something that I've mentioned months and months ago. Normally, you are not able to call to arms at your expos unless it is at tier 2. Well, here, well, that's exactly what Melon did. Melon opted to expand and then tech at his expo. By teching at his expo, that keep does allow for call to arms, so now Militia can be called both at the main base and also the natural expansion. That expansion going to be that much more difficult to defend. Meanwhile, we are already at dual arcane sanctums, trying to get perhaps priests and sorceresses into the battle. All right, this Great Hall suffering quite a bit of damage here. Water Elemental, is it going to be able to splash down this Great Hall? No, the Shaman able to purge it down here, as the Footmen now trying to race their way over. A quick and easy ensnare going to ensure that it gets taken out, as the Raiders and the Torrent Chieftain making sure that the army, the Mountain King and the Archmage, is nowhere nearby. Yeah, I was going to say, I felt like and didn't even think to keep track of the keep here. Melon was going to end up falling further and further behind if he didn't tech. Well, he did get that tech, and in a very favorable spot. Coming back off to the north here, we can see a lone footman trying to dive in on these peons. Meanwhile, down to the southern portion, Archmage and Mountain King trying to engage here. We see a Stormbolt onto the Torrent Chieftain. There's a Purge onto a Water Elemental. Torrent Chieftain's trying to catch up. No boots of speed on that Torrent Chieftain, but does get to level 3 and now has level 2 Shockwave. All right, so level 2 Shockwave to perhaps try and hurt that entire front line, or the entire back line from that front line spot, as the Mountain King now double backs around. Both sides looking to set up their expos and get it operational. 54 supply compared to 50. FoCuS currently in no upkeep, getting, well, 10 gold a second compared to Melon's 14 gold a second, since he is, well, currently in that low upkeep spot. How is all of this going to unfold next? We're looking at replenishment potion that will get taken down, picking up some more items. Torrent Chieftain also has a scroll of healing. Raiders are ready to roll out. FoCuS is ready to transfer some peons over down to the south side, as the Mountain King hoping to get a little bit of easy experience. All right, some easy Nightcrawler's death. Are we going to see those Nightcrawlers get taken out? Farseer gets up to level 4. Chain Lightning bouncing around. We can see the Flesh Eater, and, well, Mountain King picks up a Ring of Protection +4. Stormbolt onto the Raider. We're seeing some more, the Forestral Shadow Priest getting cleaned up, and now a Shockwave ripping on through. Now Torrent Chieftain still has a good amount of mana. All right, Scroll of the Beast now being used. That is a 25% damage increase, as Raiders are falling. Torrent Chieftain could try and get another Shockwave off, and then suddenly we should see a bunch of low hit point units, and now followed by Lightning Shield. Scroll of Healing was not in time for some of those peasants, as we're looking at the Kodo Beast, unable to chomp up on anything either. Raiders still leading the charge here. Ensnare onto Priest. Mountain King looking to charge here. Torrent Chieftain low on mana, unable to easily engage. What is that Torrent Chieftain doing? More Purge, as the Torrent Chieftain wants to finish off some units, get to level 4, but unable to do so. 50 supply compared to 59. Stormbolt finding the back of a raider. 42 supply army by MelonLord, as we see a staff of teleportation for the Farseer retreating back home, picking up some items, and perhaps ready to, return to the battlefield, giving gifts here. Now, the Tauren Chieftain needs to find some easy creep camps. Gonna head off to the north. Rock Golem creep camp, that is going to be easy to clear up. Plenty of space. Archmage now backing away as the Mountain King looking to get to level 3 and will be just a little bit shy. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain gets to level 4 off of this creep camp, or should get to level 4 off of the creep camp. There we are, there we go. Level 2 endurance, or a faster attack speed, faster movement speed to chase down those targets. Now, Echo Isle, one of the maps that I used to absolutely hate in years past because, it didn't have a 5th gold mine. It didn't have any tension, and you often saw players just kind of turtling and sitting in no upkeep, as gold was so sparse on the map. It didn't really make sense to go into high, even low upkeep to try and win, since defensive positions were so easy to hold. Now, if you try and turtle, your opponent can end up taking that 5th base, and because it is an odd number of gold mines on this map, that 5th base is worth more, since you actively deny your opponent a gold mine as well. 71 supply compared to 61. Yellow versus green, both sides going to try and get into position here. Yes, FoCuS does have the better hero levels, but we're looking at army size. We see Melon, with the stronger army here, as are we perhaps going to be looking at the Tauren Chieftain trying to get a shockwave, going back the other way. Spellbreakers are in position here. Mountain King could try and Stormbolt a couple of easy targets. Kodo Beast, nothing in its belly. Farseer may want to try to pick up a Scroll of Town Portal or something, some sort of survivability item, just in case this fight goes the wrong way. Stormbolt onto the Tauren Chieftain taking a little bit of damage, and now taking a lot of damage as the Spellbreakers quickly drain the Tauren Chieftain's mana. Meanwhile, Shamans purge down the Water Elemental. Militia getting called over, but there's not really much to fight, as the Kodo Beast needs to get needs to eat either a Rifleman or a Spellbreaker to really make it worth it. There's that Thunderclap right there. Mountain King slowing down all of those units. Farseer, Tauren Chieftain could be in trouble. Does have a Scroll of Town Portal. Scroll of Town Portal forced by the Archmage instead. There's another Thunderclap and a Stormbolt to get a 1-2 shot burst down onto that, Kodo Beast. FoCuS now down to 60 or 52 supply. Staff of Teleportation, he's going to retreat home. Clarity Potions, Healing Salves abound, as he needs to get some precious mana. Now, another resource on this map are creep camps. The majority of the creep camps are still available, but there are still a good amount of creep camps available on the map. We could end up having a level 5 Farseer and a near level 5 Tauren Chieftain in this upcoming battle. And with that all said and done, that does greatly change things with, Spellbreak, or with those Shadow Wolves, who can get in some harder critical strikes and get within a melee range against those Spellbreakers faster. Pendant of Energy now given to the Farseer. Farseer just shy of level 5, as we're now making its way back down. All right, Archmage retraining into Blizzard and going to shut down the mining here at the Expo. FoCuS doesn't have much really here to defend, and Melon is doing a great job here, about to take down this Great Hall. This may be an NWS situation, not worth saving, as Chain Lightning Shockwave trying to find some easy targets, unable to do that. Stormbolt onto the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain, what's going to happen there? Blizzard now raining down on this rather narrow choke point. Peons trying to repair. There's a Chain Lightning. Archmage ends up falling. Peons are still repairing strong, as the Tauren Chieftain gets up to level 5. Level 5 on the Tauren Chieftain. Are we going to see level 3 Shockwave rip through, as there is enough mana for level 3 Shockwave there? All right, Tauren Chieftain has the mana. Could actually reach the back line of all of those targets. Is he going to try and do exactly that? Does find the Shockwave and does take down 2 more casters in the back. Mountain King gets in the Thunderclap, but more purge down onto another Sorceress, as the Archmage was resurrected at the tavern in order to unlock the Scroll of Town Portal and bring all the units back home. Great Hall was lost, but at what cost? FoCuS and able to shut it down or force the Archmage to use the Scroll of Town Portal after falling. So quick resurrection at the tavern as well. That was a very heavy investment indeed, as the Tauren Chieftain and Farseer now sitting at level 5 going up against 2 level 4 heroes. Mountain King sitting at level 4 here, Gargantuan Sea Turtle in the back. We're going to be looking at some Blizzard raining down. Archmage trying to clean things up here. Spellbreakers are looking at 1-2 upgrades, going up against the 2-1 upgrades of the Orc army. Kodo Beasts, well, need to start chomping onto some of those Spellbreakers. That would be a great swap around, as we're looking at level 2 weapon upgrades now being researched at the blacksmith. What's going to be unfolding here? Archmage, Mountain King trying to get some precious mana, has a Sobi Mask. Tauren Chieftain, Farseer ready for an engagement here. Are we going to be looking at Chain Lightning, Shockwave? There's a Chain Lightning, no Shockwave. And, well, with the limited number of units, well, the Spellbreakers were not actually, can't absorb any of that Shockwave. A massive Thunderclap there, going back the other way here, as the Tauren Chieftain, now down to 200 hit points, has to play a little bit careful. All right, are we going to see some more units trying to reinforce and come across there? There's a little bit more Chain Lightning pushing on through. Shockwave could find some easy targets. Doesn't get any of the peons, but does get the tower, as the Tauren Chieftain now, well, raises on in. Diving onto the Archmage, level 6 now onto the Farseer, as Chain Lightning still bouncing around. Kodo Beast not eating anything. Well, there's why Kodo Beast eating something, but getting in a little bit too far there. This Kodo Beast, right next to some Spellbreakers, did not chomp on anything at all. All right. Hit and run tactics by FoCuS. 43 supply compared to 41. Economically speaking, no more workers down across here. Mountain King completely surrounded by Spellbreakers. And what do you do at this point and stage in the game? Do you try and actually go for Taurens to deal with all of those Spellbreakers? You need some sort of way to deal big, heavy damage against that Spellbreaker line, but at the same time, in the same way, well, maybe your heroes are enough to cause enough of a disruptment. 31 supply army going up against 40. Melonlord does have the larger army. Healer units are healing back up. Farseer, or excuse me, Archmage should get done resurrecting here soon. And, well, with that, Chain Lightning and Shockwave are not going to pose that big of an opportunity. There's that Chain Lightning, there's that Chain Lightning and Shockwave. And you can see that Chain Lightning normally bounces a handful more times, but doesn't find any additional targets, even though he's in a sea of human units. All right, continuing to retreat back here. There's a Chain Lightning finding a bunch of workers there, but the Farseer is now going to get surrounded. All right, Kodo Beast, is he going to try to eat something? No, he is not. There's another departing Thunderclap. And a level 3 Thunderclap really dealing some heavy damage to FoCuS's army. Even though it's not killing units, it is delaying the subsequent follow-up attack, as healing salves need to work a little bit harder. And, well, yeah, healing salves need to work a little bit harder, and that damage does start to stack up. Dual Shadow Wolves now running across the battlefield. Spellbreakers are here. Main base mining, only about 3 minutes of mining left, as we can see. Tauren Chieftain making its way across, about to get to level 6. Archmage now back out onto the battlefield. And where are these wolves going? Wolves going to go straight after these peasants here, as that could give enough experience. Tauren Chieftain could be in a little bit of trouble. Archmage running around in the corner. There's a Shockwave, Potion of Invisibility, and, well, is he still somehow revealed? There's a Dust of Appearance. There's a Scroll of Town Portal, backing everything into a corner. There's a Lightning Shield on the Mountain King, and, well, is it going to end up dealing damage to the Archmage? No, it is not. It looks like it was dispelled in time. The Tauren Chieftain and the Farseer seemingly always having a Chain Lightning and a Shockwave to try and find that rather low hit point intelligence-based hero. Archmage, maximum capacity right now only 600, does have another Scroll of Town Portal, as well as the Wolves are perhaps going to try and dive on into those onto those workers. No, decide against it, as the main base here now down to 2 minutes of mining. FoCuS's Expo not very well defended. but FoCuS's offense has constantly been putting Melon on defense as he's forced to retreat back home. Arcane Sentry now completed. Militia, so those Shadow Wolves will constantly be spotted. One Militia down, trying to finish things off. Are we going to see, well, a resummoning of the Wolves there? Yes, we are. As the Farseer still needs a little bit more mana. Same with that Tauren Chieftain. Melon finally breaking into low upkeep again. He was getting 20 gold a second. Perhaps he should have held off a little bit longer, mined out the gold on the main base before doing exactly that. We're going to see a couple of ensnares, and while catching the back line, that is absolutely key. 3 priests suddenly taking out Tauren Chieftain, now sitting at level 6, as we're going to see the Tauren Chieftain perhaps try to dive onto that Archmage. Archmage going to get dove into. There's a nope, no shockwave. Scroll of Town Portal quickly being used. Kodo Beast finally gets the memo and gets a Spellbreaker in the belly. Level 6, going up against a level 4, level 5. 48 supply army by Melon, now going up against FoCuS's 59, and that is with, well, a Spellbreaker in the belly of that Kodo Beast, artificially inflating Melon's supply count until it, well, leaves the stomach. That was a very unelegant way of saying gets reversed or anything like that. Coming through, quick use of Dust of Appearance, making sure that there is no invisible Mountain King nearby. Scroll of Speed, and gonna perhaps try and catch these units off guard. All right, all lined up. Mountain King gets a big Thunderclap across that front line. Sorceress gets taken out. We see an ensnare onto the Archmage. Archmage could be in some serious trouble. There's another Thunderclap. Mountain King is continuing to get Thunderclaps. Blizzard still raining down. Kodo Beast, well, trying to reel it in. 48 supply compared to 51. FoCuS now in some serious trouble. Going to have another tactical retreat again. Stormbolt onto a Raider. And, well, now Melon has taken the supply lead again. But, well, I take it back. 2 Spellbreakers currently in the belly of the beast, counting for 6 supply. That means that the fights are just actually that much closer than originally thought. All right, Spellbreakers retreating back here. We can see a Great Hall is trying to be built off on that northern position. Militia are going to start to pick apart and pick at that. Tauren Chieftain is going to try and engage here. No, it is not. Are we going to see a Thunderclap? We are. And you can see that level 3 Thunderclap, how much damage it does, and just able to constantly find targets over and over. All right, low hit point Grunt down to 51 hit points. Kodo Beast, well, nearing digestion on 1. There goes another Thunderclap, racking up even more damage as the Tauren Chieftain trying to chase down these targets again. Kodo Beast trying to play a game of hungry Kodo. Is it going to be able to, yes, Scroll of Speed, dash then dine for that Kodo Beast there. Scroll of Speed closing in on that Spellbreaker, got a little bit in front of it, and then able to chomp it down. Chain Lightning still bouncing across all of those backline units. Tauren Chieftain pretty low on mana. Could try and line up another Shockwave, but maybe difficult to line up with those Spellbreakers. All they need to do is 1 hit to prevent that Shockwave there. There's the Shockwave hitting both of the heroes again, as the, well, Farseer is getting close to level 7. Level 7 would open up, I believe, Earthquake, but the Farseer could be in trouble, down to 162 hit points. Does have a potion of healing, does also have a potion of invulnerability, as the units are still diving their way through. Kodo Beast trying to eat through or win this battle outright. Scroll of the Beast trying to get away, and it looks like this Kodo Beast will get away at 22 hit points. Grunt as well. 47 supply compared to 41. Very close game between these two parties, as the Archmage Spellbreakers try and heal back up here. Meanwhile, back at the north expansion location, it looks like long-distance mining is the name of the game. This gold mine still has plenty of mining to go, but will the game actually last that long, as Melon is now in a little bit of trouble? Only 1 minute of mining, or less than a minute of mining left. Battle in the center portion of the map. Invisible Mountain King. Shadow Wolves going straight for those other units again. Tauren Chieftain in that front line spot. that Mountain King could line up a nice Thunderclap, and it does. Thunderclap right in that front line's position there. It followed up by a Blizzard. Are we going to see another follow-up Thunderclap? Chain Lightning bouncing around. There's that Thunderclap there. Kotobe's trying to back away. Stormbolt onto the Archmage, or not onto the Archmage, onto, I believe, a Raider there, as we're looking at another Thunderclap trying to slow down that Tauren Chieftain. Archmage could be in some serious trouble trying to back away. Kotobe's down to 53 hit points. Mountain King trying to finish off some more of those units, as a low hit point Kotobe's able to escape back. Low hit point Tauren Chieftain really not mattering. Mountain King perhaps could get a Stormbolt down. Archmage down to 77 hit points. He's going to try to back away as the Farseer gets away across on the other side. Long distance mining happening here. What the heck? Why is it? All right. Hey, this is not Battle Aces. Would be here anyway, but this is... Wait. Does it still say I'm doing Battle Aces? I thought I changed that. Oh. All right, coming back around. Farseer still back around here. Yeah, I thought I changed that. Coming back through. Farseer off onto the north. Oh, maybe the title of the game is wrong. The title. I'll fix the title later. Tauren Chieftain looking to clean up some of these Spellbreakers again. Farseer heading back off to the north. We'll be able to clean up. Yeah, no. If you want... I could talk about Battle Aces. Really love Battle Aces, but... well, let's focus on this game instead. A nail-biting game between these two players. FoCuS still getting a little bit of gold out of that northern gold mine, still having gold from the southern gold mine. Actually, one peon too many. Mountain King sitting at level 6. Well, needs to get as much mana as possible. Has a Clarity Potion, has decided not to use it for some odd, strange reason. Tauren Chieftain still has not used his ultimate ability yet. Farseer could open things up with Earthquake to try and force a base trade as the army quickly disappears. FoCuS at a 24 supply going up against 25. And, well, we'll see what's happening next. Raiders getting ready to engage. There's a little bit of damage. There's a Chain Lightning. The Chain Lightning actually doesn't bounce onto the Priest there. A little bit of an unlucky break, as that could have been easy damage to follow up with another Chain Lightning or another Shockwave. All right, also, let's see, yeah, bouncing towards the Mountain King, and once it was at the Mountain King, couldn't find any additional targets there. That breaker going to end up falling. Archmage trying to retreat back. Trying to retreat back. All right, Farseer. Tauren Chieftain continuing to engage. Shadow Wolves trying to dive onto the Archmage. Archmage down to 121 hit points. And is it going to, well, buy a Scroll of Healing or a Potion of Healing down to 104 hit points. Uses the Potion of Healing there. Now going to get under the cover of these towers. And with under the cover of the towers, be able to perhaps fight back here. Mountain King in some serious trouble, though. Down to 255, down to 100 hit points. That could be the end. Mountain King, no. Mountain King ends up, buys the Potion of Healing, but not able to use it. Tauren Chieftain now surrounded by a bunch of peasants. That's not going to matter very much, as we're going to see, well, that Tauren Chieftain fall, but get back up again because of that reincarnation, and, well, come back with pretty much full hit points. There's a Shockwave, and this is going to be the end here. FoCuS able to clean things up, I believe. FoCuS now with a 27 supply army compared to 16. Beautiful game going back and forth. The early economic advantage of Melon, able to take an early lead, but in the end, unable to get, unable to close out the game against a very strong FoCuS, who took an experienced lead on the map by creeping out more, getting to level 5 that much faster. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.